Okay, so let's try this. This time I'm not doing a voiceover just because out of like trying it out and miserably failing, I noticed that I'm not really good at those. Like, I just end up talking about weird stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with what I'm showing. Yeah, that just doesn't work out for me. So I'm just kind of talking while showing, so maybe that's why it sounds a bit weird. And also it's really early in the morning, so whatever. This is my new bullet journal book kind of thing. It's again like last year from the same brand, Dingbats. Last year it was this guy, and yeah, this year I have a different pattern with a beautiful dark green. And somehow I just like really felt like showing you kind of like how I set it up. One, because I put a lot of effort into it, though one probably doesn't see it because that's kind of how most of my projects turn out. And two, because I don't know, I just saw a lot of YouTubers do it, and then I was like partially really inspired, partially really intimidated because like, why does it look so good with them? And then I tried to do the same and it just doesn't look good and it's a whole mess, but I still just kind of felt like showing it, being part of it, trying not to FOMO, even though I'm not part of that community anyway. Just felt like a fun thing to do, and I'll try it out, and I'll just see what happens. And let's start at the beginning. Of course I didn't write my name in there yet, because whatever. And then at first page, of course, this looks very empty still, it's just 2021. But what I plan to do is the same what I did last year. At the start of the year, I write the year, and then I kind of throughout the year when I don't really know what to do, or I'm journaling in my bullet journal, or just have my bullet journal around and I'm bored, I just kind of doodle in it around that year. And last year it turned out like this, like 2020. I don't know if you can still see it, because last year I wrote the year quite big, but I didn't write it very clear. Like, not in this bold font, it's just big, so you don't really see it. But kind of my plan is that at the end of the year, this looks like this, so that's why it still looks quite empty. And then I started with my goals and resolutions that are also still empty, because I first wanted to kind of like show you my setup before. Oh right, and I want to show you what pens I use, because I think that's always cool when people do that, and I want to be part of it and just kind of also do it, even though it probably like isn't that significant when I do it. But for this one, I use this pen. Yeah, it's from the brand Gahandash. Yeah, for this thing I use this. Then for this, I use this to write the black thing, because I think it has a nice width to it. It's not as small as the little black lines here, for which I use this one, which is from Faber-Castell. Is there anything else you need to know about this pen? Probably not. I need to figure out how to do these kind of videos. And for the background, I wanted to use this gray because I think it kind of looks nice. It's like very subtle. And what I don't like is when my bullet journal spreads are messy colorful, if that makes sense. Like if they're colorful, but it isn't really cohesive and it doesn't really fit to each other. So it was supposed to look like this. You see this one in the middle? Yeah, that's how it was supposed to look like. Somehow it turned pink. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I'm annoyed as well. But yeah, that's this. It's kind of my goals. To embarrass myself at the end of the year when I realize what I haven't done yet. And then this is the overview, where I used, both for the title and for this background thing, I used these two. They have this thing written on them, SB. I don't know if that says anything. And they're also from Faber-Castell. And the cool thing is they have like this pointy tip. Not that I know how to use them properly. But I just like the color, which is why I use them, because they have that kind of subtle color. However, once again, it turned pink after I wrote over with this. I don't know why that happened. It's quite annoying. They can't really change it. So I guess that's that. And then for these point thingies, I kind of thought that looked cool, or it would look cool. It looked cooler in my head. But I used these two pens kind of to like, phew. And then on the other side, I used it the other way around on purposely to make phew. Yeah, so that's cool. And these are, I have no idea where I have my pens from, to be honest. They're 1mm metallic, sparkling. Yeah, that's all that's written on here. I don't know. For the normal font, I used this pen again, and for this bit, for the black background, I used this. And then to write over it, I used this edding kind of thing that has like a 0.8 millimeter tip. And the thing is, because it writes really well on black paper, but for some reason, because I first painted here with this pen, somehow it didn't stick as well, so I had to go several times over it, which is why it looks really messy and ugly. And then here I can like just write down kind of like an overview for the months, like what I've planned, so that when I didn't do the monthly spreads, I can just kind of look back. And then I saw in the other cool video, so that you don't have to do like the title over and over again, you can just cut out like 2 pages, and then you kind of have like an overview in an overview. Then next I have like stuff I watched, stuff I read, places I've been, and I've still got space for one more, but I don't know yet what to put here. I just noticed that like last year I also did this, and it's one of the things I use the most, just because it's also cool to like at the end of the year kind of like look back and see what you did, because then you also just kind of know what you watched, if you've already seen a film before, how many books you read that year. To write on it, I again use this pen. Then next I have stuff to check out, just because I keep getting recommendations of like, oh, you should watch that, oh, you should listen to that, oh, you should read that. And then I never do, because 1, I don't want to, and 2, I also just forget it. But this time, like, if there are things that like I probably should check out, I can write them down here, and I don't forget them, and then I can like cross them off or whatever once I did check them out. And once again, I use like this one for the thin lines and this one for the bold writing. These 2 pens for the silver and gold decorations. And these are just for general ideas. Like sometimes I get really weird ideas, but they're like kind of cool, but then I forget what they were. So like the point's lost. So I just kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just a brain dump. I don't know if I'll even use it yet. At least I have it for now. And also for the light bulb, I think it's kind of boring when I tell you. For the light bulb, I use this, and then this, and also this, and that kind of vibe. It's not like I'm really good at doing the titles, so it's not interesting anyway, probably. And this I saw somewhere. I thought it was a really good idea, because you know, like sometimes you get ideas or you see things and you're like, oh, that would be a perfect gift for that and that person, but you keep forgetting it, and then as soon as it's your birthday or it's Christmas, you just forget, and then you have no ideas, and that sucks. So that doesn't happen, I don't know if you can read it with this lighting, but it's gift ideas for others. And then this is also a personal wish list, because also every time it comes to Christmas or my birthday, I forget what I wish for, and throughout the year I have tons of ideas what little like things I could wish for, but I keep forgetting them once it comes out to handing out my wish list or like telling people what I'd like for Christmas or my birthday. And for the top bit, for the black outlining, I use this one, the green Faber-Castell one. And then for the background, I again use these pens that turn kind of, here they didn't turn pinkish. This is actually how I wanted it to look originally. But I used this and then switched up so that here we have the silver and here we have the gold. And then for my last thing, I have just fun little things. For this one, I used this color set thingy, because they like, with these you can write on black paper, which I just cut out a little bit and stuck it up there. And for some reason the blue just doesn't show up really much. Don't know why. But the reason I wanted these things is I'm bored very often, and there are also a lot of cool little things I'd like to check out or like I could be doing, but I just forget about them in the moment. Like pottery, writing poetry, yeah, just those kind of things. See, that's what the list is for me, finding out little things to write down. That's kind of my original setup. Not very interesting, not very well executed properly, very amateur-like, but it was fun, and I hoped you liked it, and yeah, whatever. Okay, bye.